So I'm just going to show you the tomato plants, the little seedlings. Once they've been in a greenhouse for a little while, we planted them inside, and we had just a little makeshift greenhouse where they were closed in with a very warm temperature. And then we take them out and we put them in front of the window where they still get some sun, but really close to our outdoor door. So when it opens and closes, they get little bursts of a little bit colder, and slowly it hardens them off. We do that for a little while, and then when they're a little bit stronger, we start actually carrying them outside for short periods of time when it's not too windy and when the sun is nice and hot, and then this hardens them off a little bit more. And then finally you can leave them outside overnight if it's a nice warm night before you put them in the ground. So here's a hardened off tomato plant ready to go in the ground. It's standing up nice and tall. If your tomato plant doesn't stand up nice and tall, don't think that you did it wrong, because here's another tomato plant. These guys lived right next to each other, and this one did this. So it went up and then down and then up again. So when we put them in front of the window, if you don't have a perfect greenhouse with perfect centralized lighting and heat, they're going to reach for the light. So they go towards the sun, and we turn them every day, and they go towards the sun again. So some of them kind of do this. We had some twist ties and some straws in there to kind of get them to stand up straight. But ultimately, they're okay. They can go in the ground like this. And what we actually do when we put them in the ground is we put them right down there like that, and all of this goes under the ground. And all those little fuzzies that you see on the tomato, all those little fuzzies actually become roots. So they're going to do just fine, even though they're growing like this. They're nice and strong. The stem has hardened off. It's gone sort of a reddish color, and you can tell it's nice and firm, and it's gotten stronger. So even though they're kind of wonky, they're going to be okay. We're going to put them in the ground, and it'll be a nice, what you see above ground, a nice straight little tomato plant, and it'll be just fine. So we are going to go and put these little guys in the ground. So it's early morning. We just watched the sun come up. Joe's digging some holes here for our hot peppers. Got out here on the weekend and planted our tomatoes and our sweet peppers here. What we did is we dug a hole, and we're short on compost, so we put a little bit of compost in the hole just around each plant rather than spreading compost over the whole area. So each plant has a little deposit of compost, and then just a little bit of regular dirt on top, not very much. And then we left it deep, a little bit deep, so it forms a bowl. And you can see how it's holding water that way when we water it. There's a little bowl there to hold on to the water. So these are our tomatoes. And we got some peppers over there, the sweet peppers. So we're just going to go and plant some hot peppers now. Hey, Dutch. So the holes are dug, and now we're going to fill them with water. Get that soil nice and moist, and let it settle before we try and put a little baby plant in there. So we'll just wait for that water to drain away a little bit.
These are actually a bit wet. No matter. Get the good stuff in there.
They go in a lot nicer if you wait for the water to drain, so it's not too soupy.
That one, so that's still too wet.
You don't want too much of this airy stuff around the roots because then the roots could dry out. So it's good on top and it's good away from, well, yeah, anything dry like that. Or even dry dirt. You don't want a lot of that near there. No clumps either on the roots. Sitting there with my coffee, I'm not getting coffee, am I?
It's getting cold.